Amazon. There's a couple of things I want to talk about Amazon. One is their purchase of the MGM, like what of the MGM library for billions of dollars, I think it is, right? And
yeah,
for them though, that's like, oh, chump change. That's like you going out and buying another one of those framed, posters behind you.
yeah.
And then we can talk about Bezos saying that he knows what it takes to make a great show. This should not be that hard. All these iconic shows have basic things in common. This is just like the dumbest. Like, I don't even need to read the list of those things to know, as someone who has, created a couple of shows and been on, I guess, I did, 10, 12 network pilots. Saw like, a lot of failure, frankly, in show business. I've seen success more from arm's length than really up close, but, just the idea that like, oh, if you have the right elements in a show, then it should work. And off the top of his head, displaying his characteristic ability to shift disciplines multiple times a day, then reduce complex issues down to the most essential. He started to reel off the ingredients of epic storytelling. Here it is. A heroic protagonist who experiences growth and change.
Where did he get that?
From every script writing book that you can buy, like, that is based on the hero's journey. This is as if like, this is like some type of like,
magic formula.
Right. You've got like 7 of those. Right. Is that the guy from Michigan?
Is he from Michigan? Sid Field. This was like the one, like you have to get this if you're ever going to try to write a screenplay. Sid Field one, and then there was another guy. Oh, maybe that was. I'm thinking of a guy who taught. Yeah, Sid Field, and then what's the other one? The Hero's Journey, right? That was based upon Joseph Conrad. McKee.
Yeah. Oh, McKee is the guy from Michigan.
Yeah, McKee. Yeah, he was big. Adaptation, the movie with Nicolas Cage, that they did a whole riff on that. Yeah, The Hero's Journey. Joseph Campbell. I think Brendan say. Yeah. This is
so here it is.
Keep going. This is a wonderful list.
A heroic protagonist who experiences growth and change. And here it is, a compelling antagonist.
Bingo. Just get a compelling antagonist. There you go.
This is what's so awesome about this, is that he thinks the secret is coming up with the words a compelling antagonist, as opposed to like, but
the nature of that.
Create a compelling antagonist.
This is the Beavis and Butthead school of like, I like things that are cool. I hate things that suck. You want a compelling antagonist. Yeah.
This is business school guys thinking they can become script writers, basically.
Totally.
I mean, some of these have details. Some of these are not that stupid. Some of these are the formula that are constantly regurgitated and used to basically hook people into watching.
And I want to correct Matt Leck. What Matt Leck just said was, these are the business guys think they can become script writers. Here's the reality. They can.
They are.
Without a doubt. Because writing a good script, right? One that's going to sell, not that hard for someone who knows how to sell, right? Like, I mean, you go in and you, there you go.
Right there. I read it.
Here's the dirty little secret. The reason why entertainment often sucks is because someone has to walk into a room and sell a bunch of executives who really don't know what they're doing.
Ben Stiller in a suit.
Yeah, who really don't know what they're doing. And anybody who knows how to sell can sell to those people. Like, I mean, I had a lot of success selling scripts, a lot of success. And it was because I could go into a room and sell a script. Like, and I got fairly sophisticated in the way that I would sell these scripts. I would create all sorts of fictional tales that I may have implied were actually not fictional. as a way of saying like that this is it, because they love that. They love that. Executives love to take real stories. I would sell stuff. I would sell stuff that like I would make up I sold multiple scripts about stay-at-home dads. Went to HBO. CBS was about to buy it, and then the writer's strike happened. But what I would do is I'd go and I would tell them stories from my life that were all fictionalized. And then I would tell them the script idea. And I had executives who would say to me like, hey, is there any way we could take that story that happened to you that time and put it in the script? And I'm like, I hadn't thought about that, but that really works. I mean, this is just, it's about sales. It has nothing to do
master
with
of the pitch.
Has nothing to do with making a good show. So many more things go into the making of a good show. It's all the execution. I mean, a script is good. It's a roadmap. More often than not, it's much helpful to have a roadmap. Would you agree with this, Matthew?
Well, yeah, but I also want to just speak on another aspect of this to me, which seems like I've been saying this for years. Hollywood has figured out a way to make a formulaic product that sells. Half the time, if you are hooked by a trailer or by the commercial for the movie, you'll go see it. They've already got your money. Word of mouth doesn't build a film anymore. It needs to do well within a very short period of time. Stars and a certain kind of bullet point list of things that are on this list that actually, look, it's not a guarantee that it will work, because what you're saying is true. Even the most formulaic movie still has to have the talent and the craftsmanship and the ways of being made that actually make it work. But it's not untrue to say that there are these films being made, hitting these points every single time. And, I actually remember the scene in pilot season where the guy goes, I don't think I'm ever supposed to come out of it. Like these kinds of reactions, like it's got to hit these certain beats, and it's not untrue. It's like an evil alchemy that actually does work. So look, that's why I'm the film guy I am. I'm trying to champion these films that don't have to have this kind of salesmanship to them that just going to convince you to watch it, especially this one right here. Urgency to watch next episode. This is something I've been talking about actually in the Discord. By the way, the film Discord, go see it. We're there. It's what keeps, to me, even these sort of Soprano-like or The Wire, these kind of movies, it keeps them off a notch lower than sort of super sort of intelligent film art, because they still have to have that sort of Walter White, Heisenberg sort of sense of storytelling where they're giving you something, you've got to watch the next one. It's like McDonald's puts that flavoring in, you have to keep eating. So these things that are they're built around, let's face it, business values, making sure the product keeps getting sold. These things are, a fact of life. They're effective. They work. I watch this stuff, but it is, to me, a shame that this is what everything's been boiled down to. But he's not wrong. They're making millions of dollars off of these things at the bottom. That's the sad fact.
Fair enough. I guess when he says a great show, what he really means is a successful show.
Yeah, one that makes a lot of money. These are business values replacing all other values. We talk about it, you and your lawyer friends, it's all money is the ascendant value. And all of these things are hit as if they're just buttons to be pushed in, making the monkey want to eat another grape.
Monkeys eat grapes?
There was that study they did where they gave the monkey either a grape or a cucumber, and he was angry if the other monkey got a grape and he got a cucumber. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? It's just that you're a rat in a maze. You're being given these sort of programmed
bananas. You're a monkey. You want a banana.
Who ever heard of a monkey eating a banana? No, grapes. They eat grapes. But anyway, so you're right that this isn't a guarantee, and obviously some of it are asinine, like a compelling protagonist. But these things, you'll notice they're in, and this is another thing I talk about in my class. You can't really reverse engineer a movie, no matter how much you think like, oh, we can just see what worked in Star Wars, break it down, and it's a guy doing a thing. There's a million attempts to remake Star Wars that didn't work, but there are a few that did. That look at your Harry Potter franchises. Some secret, he's a secret person that's got powers, wish fulfillment. Every action movie that's meant for men is protagonist has hidden abilities, such as superpowers and magic these days. So these are unfortunately successful things. Yeah, keep going.
Wish fulfillment. You touched on that.
Yeah.
Moral choices. I mean, I guess so.
What other kind of choices are? What to have for dinner?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I guess moral choices. I mean, I challenge anybody to write anything that is longer than 8 minutes long that doesn't involve a moral choice at one point.
Oh,
diverse world building, different geographic landscapes.
Is that all there is to world building?
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you. Who said that, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, world building is like, a whole other universe that you're in. But, just, hey, some pretty cool, like, landscapes. That's neat, too, I guess.
The ice world really and the weird. Desert world.
Topography, yeah.
Yeah, blue and orange, right?
Urgency to watch next episode, cliffhangers. So
that's the most insidious one to me. Yes, it has to have that.
Yeah, he throws in the industry term at the end there.
But did Sopranos have cliffhanger? I guess they did. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they totally did. Listen,
I mean, those were built into the course of the season, though. It wasn't like the last minute of the episode was like, oh boy, what's next?
I don't know. They save the wax for the end. They do that kind of thing.
That's true.
I don't mean to just completely shit on Sopranos. It's a wonderful example of like an intelligent TV show, but that's to me what it still has to bow to these commercial pressures to keep you wanting to binge it. I mean, people binge it for that reason.
Civilizational high stakes, like a global threat to humanity, like alien invasion or devastating pandemic. Do you need that for a great show? That seems not correct to me.
Well, for if you have it, you probably are upping your chances that people will be compelled by it. It's a cheap score to evoke stakes, but that's why I love a movie like Chantal Ackerman's John Dillman, where it's about a woman basically doing housework and her life falling apart. It's the complete and total opposite of that. If you're interested in actually expanding your world, and looking at smaller things and their importance to you, you're not gonna catch an audience. It requires too much of the audience.
I think like the definition of great show is really at stake here, because the thing that makes a great show to me is that you can be brought in to the stakes that the character feels. That it's
That's
not.
Right. It could be anything.
Yeah, I mean, for The Sopranos, it's his family, it's his status in the crime family, and it's his status within his own family, and the feeling.
Yeah, but Sopranos clicks off those last three: betrayal, positive emotions, negative emotions, and
Don't
violence.
Jump ahead. You're moving the goalpost here, right?
Well,
I mean, isn't that the point? Like, I mean, the whole thing is to create stakes that exist for the character, but is somehow relatable, even though it's not directly impacting the viewer. Like, yes, if the world is about to explode, it's going to be a problem for me because I'm in the world. But if you're about to lose your job and I feel something about that, that's a great show.
Yeah, again, he's painting with the broadest possible brush here to capture as wide an audience as possible. What you're asking for, even in that sense.
What an apologist you are for him.
No, it's not an apology. I'm
Are you selling your stuff on Amazon now? Or you've like moved from eBay to Amazon? What's going on?
Uh-oh.
No comment. I don't have to get in the mud with you on that. No, I'm just saying no, that is not what's happening here. I don't disagree with you, but it's none of these is what makes great film. None of this is what makes art. It's like this is the debate, I think. These things are actually plug-inable for this kind of shit that they want to make.
Humor.
I never heard of it.
I mean, I gotta be honest.
You've tried that. I
know I've tried it, but I don't watch comedy. But I guess it's humor is different than comedy. I barely watch any comedies anymore. I rarely. I'm not watching anything these days. I can't find anything that's good. Somebody suggested Mayor from Eastwood or Eastman, and
I've heard that's good. I know a couple of people that
watched it. It's fine. It's not great. It's
Does it have humor, betrayal, or civilizational high stakes?
It has humor, has betrayal.
A compelling antagonist.
Has a compelling antagonist. Well, actually, no. We don't really know who the antagonist is yet. It's a murder mystery, so.
Oh, interesting.
There are compelling protagonists, but he has humor, has betrayal, positive emotions. God, this Bezos, he's really on top of it.
You can see
he's hitting his stride right now. He's just going off.
He's closing hard.
Negative emotions, loss and sorrow. Okay. Violence. No sex.
Bit of the old ultra violence. Yeah, I guess it doesn't say sex there. Maybe that's in his next seminar.
God, man. Let's just, you know what I would like to see a show about? I would like to see a show where each week the government raises its taxes, wealth taxes on Jeff Bezos. So each week we see him lose a progressively larger amount of his fortune. First week, it's $1 billion, and we just watch and see how he reacts to that. And then it's like $5 billion. And the next week, it's like $10 billion. And
who wants Jeff Bezos to not be a billionaire?
We get him down to like, I don't know, a couple of $100 million. And then it's just like becomes like a thing where like you do some type of like nationwide call in or internet vote to see whether we let him keep it. That to me would be super entertaining. That would be a great show. That would be a great show.
I'd be tuning into that every week. Yes, I would.
Plus, you could finance it with all the money you take from Bezos.
Did this happen to you in real life, Sam? Because this is compelling. This is also this whole story of MGM being bought by Amazon. It's another installment in your story of trust busting and monopoly, antitrust. Yeah. That's the real story there. It's nothing to do with the debasement of our entertainment. If MGM does it themselves or somebody else is doing it, still this commercial cinema that's being promoted here. They're just now controlling it in the pipeline of distribution.
David Dayen has an interesting piece where he compares what Amazon is doing in this space to the antitrust suit that is being brought by the Attorney General of Washington, D.C. against Amazon. Now, he's doing it because Amazon has some business practices where they basically say more or less. There's some nuance here, but it's more or less. You cannot sell anything cheaper than you sell it on Amazon. You can't sell it cheaper at your website. You can't sell it cheaper anywhere else, or we kick you off and you lose access. And what it does, it has the impact of creating upward price pressure. And Dayen suspects that what this is about, why Amazon is getting into this business, is that Amazon doesn't, has its Prime Video as a service that is not a separate service from its Prime membership. Mm-hmm. And so their video offerings is just like a slice of their business.
Yeah, come for the free shipping, stay for the superhero shows.
Actually, it's come for the superhero shows, stay for the free shipping. But what it does is it will also have the long-term impact of driving up prices for its competing like Netflix, let's say, because they don't have another business to subsidize it. And with Amazon in there buying, this stuff, it's going to make content more expensive.
So does he think that will finally turn on the light of antitrust the way we've been thinking of it in price terms? No, I don't think in this instance it will necessarily. That's almost way too sophisticated, because what it is like, there's a limited amount of content out there. And it will drive up the prices a little bit for web streaming services. And it already is like, look, I'm convinced, short of Netflix, short of Amazon, like these networks that are getting into these streaming things, forget about it. It ain't working. I mean, I got Disney Plus, I got CBS All Access, I got Hulu. I mean, what's not working? I guess I'm a mark.
Well, I'll tell you what's not working is because like at one point you're paying significantly more than you were for cable. And
I'm also paying for cable. So
Oh, you are? Oh, that's nuts. But at one point, it's just going to be too much, and it's just the profit margins aren't there. There's just too much competition. I think I think some of these streaming services are not long. I think there's going to be a contraction. That's my
well. Listen, I in my lane as the film guy, I try to say, like, I feel like fighting the corporately funded and distributed film pipeline and trying to raise up the sort of the smaller voices, the less commercial voices that are making what are still, I think, important films that are actually valuable to society, valuable to humanity. It's sort of like climate change, like I advocate for individual choices to push it, but it has to also be on a policy level. It has to also be this greater decision that we should support these other kinds of filmmaking that aren't just this, this product, this easily consumable, disposable product that just goes in one ear and out the other and makes you keep clicking and compelled to keep paying for the service.
When you say we should support, are you saying this that as consumers we should support this, or we should support it as our government should support it, or what?
Both. I listen, right now the best thing you can do, I think, is twofold. Is like, I see myself as advocating for the value of these films, so people will go out and get them, will go find them. And right now it's primarily the best stuff is, sad to say, foreign films and the things that are actually supported by their governments, although those are imperfect systems as well. And also try to advocate for a greater sort of awareness of the control that this kind of, what do you call it, verticality has on what you're able to see. It's not just the prices. It's the coarsening of the culture.
Who's got the best system? What government do you think provides the best, means of support for its filmmaking?
I can't tell you, because if you ask the French people, they hate their system, yet they get public funding. If you ask people in, like one of my favorite filmmakers is Nuri Bilge Ceylan in Turkey. Well, he has to fight censors all the time, but he still makes these wonderful art films. So I couldn't tell you who has the most freedom and who has the most support. It's a problem everywhere because honestly, the Western culture is like a behemoth.